Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. I'm super excited. I've never heard of this band, and it's a full marathon just of this band. This marathon is sponsored by Nick. Thank you, Nick. I really appreciate it. And we're talking about Praying Mantis here. So I've never even heard of this band, and I don't know if maybe they weren't as big, or maybe I lived under a rock. Maybe both, but I'll be looking up, stuff of the band while we listen to this music. This is we're gonna listen to the first 5 songs from Time Tells No Lies. Now, there's one thing I don't usually like to do this, but we're gonna give it a shot. I looked up the band and I don't recall. No, I've never heard of Rock Candy Records. So let's give it a try, because sometimes what happens with these record companies is if you upload too much of their songs, then they tend to block the video. So I'm going to add one song I found a metal band, and I'm sure this is metal just by the cover, by Cynic. And we're going to do Celestial Voyage, because it's Warner Brothers. So that way, if they block the marathon, it's safe. So just like the same that we do with Thin Lizzy. So yeah, Nick is the famous Thin Lizzy sponsor. Like, all my marathons on the channel are sponsored by Nick. Not all, some of them are also sponsored by Narvik. But yeah, so Praying Mantis. So it is metal and rock. And Dennis Stratton, isn't that the guy from Iron Maiden? I think he is. I think that he's on the first Iron Maiden album. I remember that name. Let's see. Former Iron Maiden guitarist. Yeah, cool. See, my memory does work. So cool. So yeah, he came. I guess I don't know if he came up with Transylvania or Phantom of the Opera, but that album is freaking amazing. The first Iron Maiden album. Unfortunately, it's not Warner Brothers. Otherwise, I would use that. That's the Iron Maiden. The first one, 1981, I think. Let's see. Albums, Iron Maiden. I remember when I bought that album, the first 2 albums, the first 3, I was so blown away. I couldn't believe it. What I was hearing. Let's see. BMG, that's a German company. Well, no, I'm just gonna, play it safe. I'm gonna go with Cynic. But yeah, so this is the Praying Mantis marathon. So we're gonna open it up with Panic in the Streets, Lovers to the Grave, Flirting with Suicide, Children of the Earth, and 30 Pieces of Silver. And then remember, this is in 1981, so these are things that back in the day weren't as I don't know. You could still talk about all this stuff. And then we're going to do Cynic from the album Focus, 1993. And that's just a trip, Celestial Voyage. All right, cool. So, yeah, so I've never heard Praying Mantis ever. So I remember, because I was so obsessed with Iron Maiden. And I remember, going through all the booklets and, and I would see Dennis Stratton right there on guitar. So that's kind of cool that he's on this. Oh, and then even Clive Burr. Clive Burr was the first drummer, Iron Maiden drummer, first 3 albums. And then Paul Di'Anno on vocals. Also first albums of Iron Maiden. So this is like an Iron Maiden like spin-off almost. Wow, now I'm super interested. Let's see. Okay, let's look at the Time Tells No Lies. I want to see the lineup. Because if it's like Paul Di'Anno and Dennis on the same album, that would be wild. That would be like listening to Iron Maiden. Let's see. All right, let's see. Time Tells No Lies. Their debut. Okay, so we got Tino Troy on guitars, Steve Carroll on guitars. Oh, so it doesn't have Dennis on here. Oh, wow. Okay, then Chris Troy on bass and Dave Potts on drums. Okay, so it looks like maybe the second album or something. All right, well, let's just get into it. So this is just right up my alley, you know. Like, this is the old heavy metal that I love, that I kind of like got into as a teenager, you know, when grunge was, you know, reigning, when grunge was like, you know, at the peak. I was listening to this kind of stuff. So here we go. Panic in the Streets. All right. Thank you, Nick, again. Let's go. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so I was looking at both guitar players. So they've always been Praying Mantis as their main band. I love the sound of this. It reminded me of a little bit of Halloween, you know. I'm not Halloween, Halloween, a band from Germany that also play, you know, heavy metal straight up, you know. And another band that I used to listen to in high school called Running Wild, and they're both from Germany for some reason. I don't know. but they're both under the same record company. So I was like, that would be kind of cool to add that at the end. But they're both BMG. I don't really know how to deal with them still, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. So this was great. I just loved, very straightforward, the lyrics, the rhythm, dance stand, dance stand, dance stand, dance stand, dance stand, dance stand, it's just very straightforward. And the solos, and now when I listen to the solos, I don't know, I analyze them so well, because I remember listening to this as a teenager, like Iron Maiden, and Iron Maiden solos, they they got more complex, as the band grew older. Specifically, like Adrian Smith, he would throw in he would tend to not do the same in his solos. He would always be very melodic and just try and really favor the song with really amazing solos. And I love how they also, pretty much didn't just shred any nonsense. There is some, thought behind the solos. There's some tapping, there's some really fast lines, and there's a lot of blues guitar but played very quickly, and it just works in a metal environment, like Metallica, Kirk Hammett, most of what he does is all, the pentatonic scale, the blues scale, and then some melodic minor stuff, and it just sounds good over power chords, So this was a great introduction. It's first song, first album, left a great impression. So let's go with the second one. This is so cool because this is literally, I wish I could have recorded myself, reacting the first time I listened to Killers or Iron Maiden or Number of the Beast. It would be kind of cool to do on Patreon, have Alexia, listen to the Number of the Beast for the first time, of Peace of Mind or Power Slave. Those albums are so legendary. Or something like Master of Puppets, or Painkiller by Judas Priest. So yeah, let's see. We just have to give her a more comfortable space, like a couch where she can just sit and relax her back, because this corner here in this room, it is just, I mean, for me, I could sit here for days, but for her, she won't have it. So that's why also we see less of her, because it's just so painful. Okay, so Lovers to the Grave. Here we go. This is the second song of the album. Here we go. So I was really pleasantly surprised. Really cool stuff.
Darkness roams the sky. Sinners of the night return. The sacred dead would cry. A virgin's love falls to the grave, submitting to the call. Her blood to bathe the devil's needs. Her body has no soul.
Nice. That typical ending, you know, that was so popular in metal bands. Da 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 da. Or, you know, I love that. That sounds a little bit like the, you know, the middle part from Phantom of the Opera. So, very interesting facts here. So, it says Praying Mantis are an English heavy metal band. Although a part of the new wave of British heavy metal scene, they pursued a musical direction more melodic and AOR, which is arena rock, you know, sounding than their contemporaries Iron Maiden and Saxon. Oh, Saxon is another band that I thought of maybe doing here with Bruce Dickinson. But yeah, this seemed more like a ballad, you know, like a ballad that kind of like worked itself up and became, you know, like really heavy, really cool solos. That melody, you know, that middle, not the middle section, the outro section, you know, was very cool. But what I've noticed, like, that they were singing in harmony the entire song, so that's something that you don't really hear that much. And also, I don't know if that could affect the sound, because it's not like you have a front man singing, you know, like these falsettos, like Bruce, you know, this is more, it sounded, it gives it just a lighter touch. Another thing that I noticed, I was like, wow, the artwork, it's so like, it looks like something I've seen before. And yes, it's the artist is, let's see, it's the same artist who has done artwork for Thin Lizzy and some other bands. I just had it right here. Let's see. Wait a minute, wait. But here's Clive Burr. But that was like on later versions of the band. Okay, cool. Where is he? I just had it, you know, like the artist, Praying Mantis. Rodney Matthews. Rodney Matthews, that's the cover. It's just this amazing style, and he has done, you know, artwork for Thin Lizzy, Ian Anderson, of Yes, you know. Let's see, the ones that I know. Nazareth, Magnum, Eloy. Okay, that's a band from Germany. Eloy. Is it the prog band from Eloy? Because there was another band. Oh no, it's the Eloy band that we all know and love. Yeah, of course. Diamond Head. Wow. Asia. See? So yeah, very famous, you know, artist that people would use for their covers, because he has like this amazing style, very fantasy like almost like the heavy metal magazines, you know. So all right, so this was also great tune. So far so good. So Flirting with Suicide is the third one. Let's go. So far I'm really digging it, you know. It has like the sound that we all love, you know, of these bands, you know. There's like the specific type of band, you know, like yeah, like the ones that they're even mentioned, you know, Maiden, Saxon. I love Saxon because of Bruce, you know, and but yeah, Halloween, um, Manowar, you know, Manowar is a little bit more out there, you know, I think, but yeah, it's like the British wave of heavy metal, you know. So okay, let's go. There you go. So yeah, the way that we're singing it obviously is very, it's very 80s and like flirting, like, and then no return ticket, no place to hide, flirting with suicide, because this is just a one-way ride. Yeah, I mean, that's like stuff that you, unfortunately, nowadays is taking way more seriously, and it should, um, but I think it's still okay. I think we even saw this when we went to the concert in India. We saw Iron Maiden, Metallica, Judas Priest, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, and Tool. And then when Metallica played it, he said, "This is a song about suicide. Fade to Black." And I know they say we shouldn't talk about it, but I think we should. And it is, I think, there's like a slippery slope. You can't, I think it should be talked about, but just with social media being so dominant over the little ones, kids, and it's a very dangerous subject because there's people that suffer from mental illness and depression, and it's very dangerous. So to put it out there, you have to be very careful, but I think it should be talked about. And if you know anyone, or if you've ever felt anything like it, you have to talk to someone. Don't just that's always, because in most cases it's like people who commit, and I can't, it's YouTube, you can't really talk about it, the word. Then if you have thoughts like that, then go and find someone and talk. Don't give up. So that's like also the trap here. The song was it sounded very, very happy, and we have done some songs that sound very happy, and we're like, Alexa and me, and then we got like, hey, this is about like the Holocaust, what the hell, what's going on with you guys? And we're like, oh shit, because we didn't look at the lyrics, and or domestic violence, so yeah, you have to be sometimes. And people, I'm sure there's a lot of fans of Praying Mantis. I'm sure they know what the lyrics are, but if you would play this to anyone in a car and you don't really notice the lyrics that much, you would be like, oh, this is a good song, it's very catchy, and it's about suicide, so just it's one of those things, but yeah, very cool solo. I love even the Egypt kind of like theme at the end, like the Power Slave lick, I used to call it the Power Slave lick before I knew what kind of scale it was. All right, so far so good. So far, what a great album. I mean, it's not Iron Maiden, I have to be honest. It's not as impactful. Iron Maiden just like grabbed me by the guts, and just like I was like 3 minutes, like 3 songs. The first album, not that much. The first album was like okay, but when I listened to Killers, that opening, the Ides of March, and then Wrathchild, I was like, what is this? First of all, of course, the bass was just crazy, and then it was just so like, I don't know. I mean, you guys know Iron Maiden. This is more like, yeah, it has like a little bit a lighter tone, and I don't know I don't know anything about arena rock. I just read this, read about arena rock today, But I guess it's like these bands like that were also part of the British, invasion of heavy metal, the new wave of British heavy metal, what is that? Def Leppard. Def Leppard, they started, off with Iron Maiden and Metallica, and they became like a more like a version of like this, just more like, Def Leppard, and it's, it's heavy metal and it's heavy and it has solos and it has great riffs, but it's not that, it's not that heavy metal, that gallopy, it's more like, it's more commercial, it's more open for, what the LA scene did, like, for girls, and not that the music is for girls, but it's about girls and it's about, hanging on the Sunset Strip and, like all this stuff that I've never been really a fan of, like Poison, and you have White Lion, and you have the Great Whites, and you have all these white bands, White Snake with the white in the title. I said Poison, I mentioned it. That other band, what is it called? It was just not quite heavy metal. It was more like geared towards, it was more glam. It was hair metal, they would all dress up very, I don't know, like different. What's that band that played Dr. Feelgood, super famous, with Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee, and you know what I'm talking about. I have never been a fan of them because I was more into like the other bands, the British bands. I don't know why, it was just more my style. It was more aggressive, and it was about fantasy and dragons and all that, all that crazy stuff. And the other bands were more about like chicks, and I don't know, so and chicks loved it, and then that's why girls loved it, and so the guys loved it, and so they were like, oh, girls are going to see those bands, I'm gonna go see those bands, so it's like the trick, like, don't charge women to come inside the club, and then men are just gonna come there and pay to be there, it's very smart. So that's just how it works. Okay, so Children of the Earth is the next one. Fourth song. Let's go. So that opening riff, for example, that was something like that would have been like, whoa, what? That was amazing. That's something very catchy, and that's just a riff that's very memorable. When you're like 15, 16 and you hear something like that, it's like, whoa, how do they even do that, And very cool. That had much more of a Maiden feel, right now.
Time has no meaning. Time tells no lies.
That was such a cool breakdown. And also, as another thing that I read about this band came out of the 70s. You know, they started in the 70s, so obviously the foundation is totally different. Like, it reminded me of Rainbow a little bit here at the beginning, and but this whole thing, like, the music is very heavy, but the approach, the delivery of the lyrics are not as aggressive, they're not as dramatic, like, let's say Bruce, like, you know how he sings, and he's always like almost like crying, you know, and it's very dramatic. Here it's more like, it's very light, you know, the delivery of the lyrics are not as like heavy on you, and it just feels like a not as it is heavy metal, and it's but the lyrics, the delivery of the lyrics sound just so much lighter, and then which makes the music completely different. So, or this breakdown here, this middle section, amazing solo, but right now this sounds more like something out of the 70s, you know? Like, listen.
It has evolved as a predator in disguise. Collect all our evils, place them side by side. There you have the potion for mass suicide. We were children of the earth, of the dawn, the universe. Children of the earth, but now our mother is dead. Children of the earth, all the time, the universe. Children of the earth, but now our mother is
Wow, those, I love when they finish a song. It's so good. Oh, I don't know, but now I've totally like I noticed, you know, the Thin Lizzy you know, influence here, like the dual guitars playing thirds, you know, the minor third, you know, you play the root note, whatever, and then you play the third note down below, and when you play those two notes, you create that harmony that is so famous now by Iron Maiden. But you know, it's those bands, you know, like Thin Lizzy, that I guess popular, you know, made it more popular. And it's just a good time, man. You know, I love it. It's such a good style, and it sounds so cool. And now, I mean, Iron Maiden, they even do it. They play, you know, the minor third, and then I think the third guitar player, I don't know if it's Adrian Smith or Janet Gers, plays like the octave, you know, when they It's insane because I love how from 1999 to now, the last 25 years, they've been playing like this with three guitars on stage, and it just works. And um, by now they've been in Iron Maiden like I think the same amount, like Adrian Smith, who left the band for a while, and Bruce, and then Janik stayed, and then he replaced him for I think 9 years. He left in 1990, I think, if I'm not wrong. Was it 9 years? Maybe less. I think he left like 1994 for 5 years, and Adrian Smith also 5 years. So for now, they've been, in the band equally. But it's so crazy because when they play like songs like The Trooper, they play the same solo at the same time. I mean, but a little bit different. They play their own little variations, but that's crazy, that they play. Dave Murray plays his solo, and then Adrian Smith plays the solo that he used to play, but also Janik Gers plays the solo that he kind of like used to play because Adrian Smith wasn't there, but now they play both at the same time. I was like, when I saw them live, I was like, what the hell? That's amazing. But I love it, it just works. And Iron Maiden has always been they've always been friendly to each other, and there's no drama. I mean, there's one famous track, if you want to look it up. It's the B-side of, I think, No Prayer for the Dying, or I might be wrong, maybe Seventh Son, but it's called Mission from Harry. Oh my God, what? Like, listen to it. Maybe I should react to it with Alexia. It's hilarious, but you need subtitles if you're not a Brit, because it's, it took me like, I had to listen to that like 40, 50 times just to get everything. And it's a fight, they get into a fight, Iron Maiden. It's something went wrong on stage, and because of a guy, and it's hilarious when you listen to it. So listen to it. It's really funny. You will laugh. It's called Mission from Harry, and it was from Steve Harris, like it's just listen to it. Okay, so last song is 30 Pieces of Silver. This is a bonus track on the album. Let's see. Oh, okay, so I didn't play the first. So I've been just playing. So they were not in order. Okay, sorry. No, there's actually 14 songs on the Spotify album, but they are also bonus tracks. So yeah. So when I said first track on the album, it wasn't the album opener, but yeah, 30 Pieces of Silver. That's a bonus track, a B-side. Okay, here we go. It's 2 minutes to midnight. It just is, It's. But that's kind of, the troubling thing about here, 2 minutes to midnight came out 3 years later. So I don't know. Did Iron Maiden, copy this? I don't know. I've heard this done by a lot of bands before it came out, but it's just like, it's so memorable, that lick from 2 minutes to midnight, the intro. I don't know. I don't know who came, like, that could be like a whole video for itself, but it reminds me, of course, it is the same lick, it's the same key. But let's go again. I don't want to interrupt the entire song. Let's go. Oof. That little riff at the end, they should have kept going. What a great song. So this whole like 2 minutes to midnight thing has been, of course, like um I'm not the first person to mention this, and this is in no way, saying that, Iron Maiden. I guess Iron Maiden just made it so damn famous in 1984 with, 2 minutes to midnight. But it's, look, all these bands have used the riff before or after. So it's, as you can see, there's bands who have been playing this riff since the 70s. So there you go. So there's just an example. Group 1 is almost identical in regards of the notes and tempo. Airborne in 2010. Imperitelli, I know this one. Speed Demon 2000. Superior 19. Oh my god, that's a typo. 1987. Keel, Speed Demon 1984. Cloven Huff, Night Stalker, Accept. Gary Moore, Saxon, Riot, Samson, Praying Mantis, and this one here, 1981. White Spirit, I think it's Budgie. I've covered them various times on the channel. Rory Gallagher in 76, So, and then group 2, it's like a variation of the riff, it says Judas Priest, One Shot at Glory. I remember that. Yeah, Anthrax, 1984, Motley Crue, there they are. 1984, Dio, Raven, Saxon, Merciful Fate in 83, Venom. There's this whole list like on Reddit. Def Leppard, Judas Priest again, Heading Out the Highway. What's the heading out to the highway? Got nothing to lose at all. Yeah, truly. Judas Priest, Hellbent for Leather. Hellbent for Leather. Yeah, I totally remember it. Ted Nugent, Stranglehold. Black Sabbath. The Moody Blues in 1971. So you see, Rob Zombie, that's the, if you squint, it's like, if you're really like trying too hard, like Rob Zombie, Motley Crue again, Avenger, and so the list goes on. And then this is like, it says, this is not trying to, poop on anyone here. I think the riff is just, I've done the riff, and then I don't even remember. Oh, you're like literally playing 2 minutes a minute. Oh my god, it sounds so good because it's just like this open note, and then these two like chords. So yeah, it's just very, very fun to play, and it sounds great, So, okay, so now, again, thank you so much, Nick. This was a great introduction to Praying Mantis. I think they're a very talented band, and I will definitely listen to more. Let's see how much is on Spotify by them. How many albums? Oh, wow. So 1, 2, 3. So, and it's a jump from 1981, and then there's nothing until 95, 96, 98, 99, 2000, 2003, 2009, 2015, 2018, 2019, and then 2022. That's crazy. I can't wait to listen to more, but I love that we started with the first one, Okay, so now I'm gonna play a song that is not part of the marathon. So if it's not, in the same, if it doesn't sound the same as, all these bands we've been talking about, then I'm very, very sorry. I was looking for something by Warner Brothers, and I actually typed it in. There's all these bands that Warner Brothers has under their belt, like, and there was King Diamond and stuff like that, but sometimes it's it's not really that that record company that holds the artist. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pause real quick because I'm drinking from this like every day too now. So I constantly have to go to the bathroom. So I'm gonna take a bathroom break, and then I'm gonna listen to the song's intro. If it sounds too off, then I don't want to do it. I want to do something that has a little bit of a vibe of Praying Mantis. So give me one more. All right, so I'm back, and I'm super happy. I found something This is a band. This was one of those happy accidents when I went to Guadalajara, you know, the city where I lived. 6 hours from where I lived, there was this city, and they had pretty much everything you could ask for. And I saw this cover, and it's at Metal Church, and this guitar, like this like rotten guitar, like I don't know if there was an arm on there. But it just looked, I was like, okay, I have no idea what this is, but I'm gonna buy it. And then I put it in my Discman, and I was like pleasantly surprised that it was just amazing heavy metal. So it's like Metal Church for me is literally like almost like a mixture between Metallica and Iron Maiden. I've always called them that because they have that thrash element, but it's also very melodic, and the singer has the falsetto going on, and it's just wonderful. So that's actually the first time I heard Highway Star, and I thought for years that it was their song. It was not until I heard I saw the movie Dazed and Confused, and I think that's where they play it, you know, Deep Purple plays it, and I was like, I know this song. Like, I thought it was Metal Church, you know, one of those things. So, but here we're gonna go. This is by Warner Brothers, so this is cool because I love Metal Church. I haven't heard this song in, I don't know, maybe 15 years. So we're gonna do Hitman. I remember it's not the most popular song on the album, but I just love it. It has these amazing falsettos. So here we go, Metal Church. This is from 1984. Here we go with Hitman. Let's go. So good. I can't believe I still remember this. Oh my god! It could have been more than 15 years that I haven't heard this. But I wanted to give a big shout out to Tony, who bought us this album. When I saw it, I was like, oh, wow, this guy. I go back way back. I was about, I think, 17 when I first heard this or something. Yeah, so cool. Okay. crazy stuff. Yeah, those guys are, just shredders. That's just more mindless shredding, fast guitar solos, and I really cool band. So I hope you enjoyed. This was just an extra, just as a safety net. But I love that. I should definitely use songs that I've heard before. So not waste, particularly like masterpieces. Like the one that I did with Jethro Tull. Like there was complete. Not a waste because I love the song, but it was just like an add-on, instead of like analyzing it. I should just do like stuff like this, and you don't have to listen to it if you don't like it. But hey, thank you again so much, Nick, for this awesome marathon. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. I hope you too. Please let me know what you think of this band, Praying Mantis, in the comment section below. Have you ever seen them? Have you heard them before? Did you see them live? Maybe are they one of your favorite bands? Let me know. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.